welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the heart of Scotland here, and today we're away to look at some World War II history, because today we've come to the old World War II Kinnel airfield, and I was here last year or maybe 2 years ago and I looked at the old control tower and stuff like that. But this past week somebody actually got in the comments, and shout out to you, you know who you are, they told me that the battle headquarters was still here at this airfield. And on this channel we do love finding more history that we've never seen before and never documented. And a battle headquarters was one of the most key buildings on these old airfields in the war. And just literally a fortnight ago or whatever, we visited the old location of the Montrose Aerodrome battle headquarters at Montrose, so that was cool. And this is going to give us an idea of what the thing actually looked like. The only trouble is there's one house at this site here, and it looks to me like the battle headquarters over there is right on the edge of their ground. So I'll just head over and see what we can see. Sometimes on these adventures you can't actually get into places when you turn up and stuff. We'll always come with the greatest of respects, like landowners and house owners. I'm really wanting to just record this history so it's you can see how it was at a certain time, because every year that passes stuff like this decays and degrades. I say it quite a lot in my videos, but kind of often these videos is the only thing that keeps the history alive for generations to come. And from here now, look, we can see the control tower which I explored the last time. Yeah, it looks like this battle headquarters is actually in this person's garden, which is unfortunate here. And literally there's two massive bulls here as well. Wow, this is crazy, folks. Real history of World War II once again on the channel. Check this out, folks. Here is the old battle headquarters, and I just asked the permission of the house owner here if I could have a look, and they kindly agreed that I could come and have a look and check it out. This is the lookout. This is where they would have had a look around the place. And they actually controlled, it's called a battle headquarters, and they controlled the airfield under a battle condition. They would have been getting the controlling the planes going in and out, and even the war and stuff like that. I believe this must have been where the entrance used to go in. It's so interesting to see, folks. Wow. Yeah, the original entrance into it must actually be blocked up. But it's cool that I can come and show you what I'm showing you, because the one at Montrose is totally gone. Some of these, like the one at Montrose, was actually above the ground, whereas most of them's buried down like this, under the ground. And that's actually one of the hatches there, the stairs, and they could have come and looked out there. So interesting, folks. Check out the way it's constructed. Yeah, the tin and stuff's just hanging down. So cool. And this is a slab. I don't know if I can actually hey, look in. Wow, look at that, folks. The ladder leading down in. Check it out. I'll just stick the camera in, because I'm not really wanting to be climbing in there. Kind of out of respect to the landowner and the house owner there. It's so nice of her to let me come and have a look at this, and I really do respect that. There we go, folks, sealed up. A little bit of history documented once again. How cool would that be to have that in your garden? Piece of World War II history almost gone forever. And it's kind of the house owner to let me have a look, because also they're interested in the World War II history that went on here as well. And apparently the old planes used to taxi up and down here, and there was just a bit around the corner where they would have parked up. I'm not sure if it was a hangar or maybe more just a service area or a service bay. What an interesting place though, folks. And yeah, shout out to the kind person here for letting us see that. Obviously they've blocked up because it was all flooded inside and stuff like that. Yeah, we've been able to document what we've seen. It's so crazy. I wasn't sure if we would be able to get inside that one or not, but when you see it like that, there's no point in climbing in through dirt and through spider webs and things like that. And at least another thing I like, when they're sealed like that, it stops them getting damaged or vandalised inside anymore. Wow, look at this as well. We'll take a walk around the perimeter of this old control tower. This would have been one of the main hubs of activity here at the airfield at Kinnel. It'd been a massive place. It's such a shame because it's like almost all gone now. And the history's almost just gone forever. It just blows my mind, these relics standing here. There's some interesting old like British Path films on YouTube, and they've got some of the old black and white footage of the old World War II airfields, and you really get an essence of what these buildings were like in their prime. I was actually at this building before they put the fences and stuff around it. I had a proper explore here and detailed the history, so I'll actually link that video at the end of this one. See, another thing, look, there's been an even older like farm or something here which has been destroyed or knocked down, and all that pile of cement leading along there will be like remains of World War II history. Wow, this is incredible, folks. I forgot how big this structure was. You can imagine them up there. They would have had a fantastic view looking out all over the airfield, and one of the old runways leads way down the other side of the main road across there, where there's like new sheds way in the distance. It maybe doesn't even come out on the camera. And then there was another runway leading pretty much east to west, I would reckon, roughly that direction. Yeah, but all this like fencing and stuff's recently been put around it. Probably because nowadays if somebody goes in there and gets hurt, the landowner's liable. Whereas at a certain time you could just go in and explore places like that. Yeah, it's special. See, look, here's an old vintage plough. We love seeing the old heritage here, folks. Check this out. Newlands and Sons Engineers, Linlithgow. Yeah, it's like a drill plough. Maybe for doing tatties and stuff back in the day. This other building over here is the old electrical substation, and that's the same as some of the old substations at other airfields that were explored, like Furdin, places like that. Just check the character of this building though, folks. These are all little pieces of the puzzle here at this airfield. It's so interesting to see. Again, you can combine it together now with like this control tower, the battle headquarters. You can just imagine what other buildings might have been here which are now gone. If I'd been doing YouTube maybe like 20 years earlier, more stuff like that might have been standing. Yeah, the top lintel and stuff's just busted out. That'll be another reason the building's like closed off now. There's some cracks and stuff starting to appear. Most of these airfield buildings were built like that, with the red brick, and then they had the grey cement coating smeared over the top. It gives them that eerie kind of abandoned vibe. After they've been sitting that long in the wild Scottish weather, they have a crazy character to them. And that's just what I love exploring. Today it's been a madness seeing that new battle headquarters. Shout out to the subscriber that commented and said that was there. As soon as I found out, I thought I want to go and document it. And thanks so much to the kind lady that lives in the house that gave me permission just to have a look and to take the footage there that I've taken. It's just amazing. It's history saved and documented. And maybe again the next explorers that come round, they won't have to like search and try and find these things as much, because again it's documented here on the video. You can get an idea of the layout of the airfield with all the things that I've explored like over the years. But I'll definitely link the other video when I was here at the end of this one, because it's cool to get a perspective of how this place has changed, like even in the past year. And I was like right up on the top of that, and we looked at like the details. There's been lights and stuff on the roof. Yeah, these were some old like internal roads here. This land's changed so much though. Since the end of the war, it's obviously been taken back over by the farming. And I can see down all the old runways and stuff at the far side, it's all like businesses and stuff that's built massive sheds. Modern industry takes over, and eventually there'll be no remains here on this site of any of this World War II stuff. Every time I see that control tower, it's just degrading more and more, and it's a shame. It would be cool to somehow save the history like that, and imagine that as a little World War II airfield museum. You could just have that restored to its former glory and put some interesting artefacts of the local World War II airfields. You could have all that sort of stuff in it, because there was so many around the whole of the UK. They all had a similar like setup with the different buildings and things. It's all interesting. Like, it was cool as well to hear her story of like the planes taxiing along there and parking up. You can just imagine it would have been a thriving hive in the wartime. Just think of the planes flying about. They wouldn't have known when the next attack was coming over from like Europe or whatever. You can just imagine the roar of like a cluster of bombers in the sky. It must have been a crazy feeling when you heard that coming. And then you can just imagine what the battles must have looked like in the air when there's like Spitfires shooting at the German Air Force. Like, it's amazing nobody on the ground was getting hit with the bullets if they were like swooping down and fleeing round. It must have just been a mad time, folks, and it's been cool to remember that with this video and keep a little bit of that history alive. British history, but also local history here in the Angus area of Scotland at the Kinnel airfield. RAF World War II, folks. Look at that, this crow's going mental over here. This is all fresh dung, so I think the farmer must be mucking out the byre. And you can see it's fresh, it's all steaming. Anyway, folks, that's me just about back at my car. There's a massive bull in this field here. He looks like he wouldn't be messing about, like. Anyway, folks, that's been a cool adventure. I'm just about back at my car. What a view across the whole land from here. It's quite a level area. It would have been a perfect area for the airfield, right enough. Right, folks, that's me back at my car. It was cool to see what we saw today and just like document more abandoned history of Scotland. Who knows where I'm going next, but I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you soon, folks.